good evening. It is afternoon Eastern time. Actually, I am about to put on that soup I've been talking to you guys about. For those of you that have been watching, again, I hope that you enjoyed your Thanksgiving. Now we're headed on to Christmas, right? Try not to let the holiday season stress you out. But I am making a soup and really going to be using the very end of that turkey today. So please like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Even though I've been getting a lot of views, no one is actually commenting. Even if you see the video later, if you make put some type of comment, whether you like the video or not, tips, things maybe that I say that you don't agree with, any type of communication would be great, and I would appreciate it. The views are coming in, but no one is saying anything. Maybe during the live, I see a few people come on and say something, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the views, period. But subscribe to my channel, please. And if you don't like the video, I can understand you're not hitting like, but say something if you will. I would appreciate it, okay? But anyway, I'm going to get moving. As I state all the time when I make videos, I'm actually cutting up onions now to put in the soup, where I'm actually going to put it in the hamburger. Once my soup gets done, I put hamburger meat in it, not stew beef. Sometimes I do the stew beef, but I'm actually dicing onions to go in this hamburger beef. I could have put the hamburger in the air fryer, because I usually try to use one pot. Too lazy to watch. Don't want all those dishes to be ganging up on me. But yesterday I did a video when I was in Sam's Club, and I forgot to put it on public so you guys could see. But you can go back and look at some videos that you may not have seen. I would appreciate it, and kind of catch you up to what I'm doing this morning or this evening. So I actually have my hamburger frying in the pot that I'm going to put the soup in. And I did meant to open all of my cans before I went live, because you know that's time consuming. But for those of you that don't have time to just sit here and look at my video, because they do tend to be at least 45 minutes long, you can always come back after that red live button disappears and it's grayed out. You can come back and you can fast forward to and fro where you want to go into the video, okay? All right, and if you ever need specific measurements, just drop them in the comments and I'll respond to your comments. But I notice I haven't been seeing any comments. These chats only count for when I'm actually on live. The chats, where I see chats come in here and there. And I'll answer them as I see them. Do you need anything? And I believe just Victor. That's so sweet of you, Victor. Y'all text where you're watching from. You watching from in North Carolina? I'm actually in North Carolina. That's so sweet. You ought to go to the store. But that's so sweet of you. This is North Carolina, and I don't mind saying I'm actually in Goldsboro, North Carolina. Just an hour above, just an hour east of Raleigh. You know, most people may not have heard of Goldsboro or Rocky Mount, North Carolina, for that matter. But there's my beef. You can see it, if you can see it. And I just dumped those onions in there. And I don't usually do it in a pot, but these patties were frozen, and they are real patties, and I make them in I hadn't intended on making a soup right now, but I'm making a soup. And being that turkey is kind of dry, once my soup gets done, I like to put some beef in my soup along with the turkey. You know, being turkey still has a way of being sort of dry. So I'm going to chop this up. And once this gets done, I'm going to take it out of the pot. And I'm going to wait until the soup really cooks down like I want it. You know, everything's in the can, so everything's pretty much done. You just dump it out of the can, let it all cook together, and put your seasoning in there. Okay. You know, people do start cooking. I notice people on holidays, when they start cooking, they don't have anything. They have to leave. I've seen people actually leave and have to go buy a pot. They have to go buy a pot. Can you believe that? You go into the corner store. Hello there, Skylar. How are you guys doing today? Well, you guys can, if you don't mind, where are you guys from? From North Carolina, South Carolina, some other state, New York, DC, Georgia. Just throwing out a few places. You don't have to state your city if you don't want to. But actually, I'm in a little area called Goldsboro, North Carolina, not far from Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. And so hopefully nobody wants to look for me just because I told them where I was from, but you can just state your state. You don't have to mention the city you're from if you don't feel comfortable mentioning the city. Just the state. Where are you from? See Marcus. Hello, Marcus. I see Tennessee. You know, that's great. Tennessee, if I'm wrong, I've never been good with geography. Probably not, now that I think about it. But for some reason, I get Tennessee and some places in New Jersey, I get them mixed up as far as my sense of direction, unless I'm actually headed there. Wondering if anybody's from Kentucky, where they have host the Kentucky Derby. And I know sometimes they host the Kentucky Derby there in Baltimore. Actually used to live in Baltimore. We're not Baltimore, right? A couple of miles away from Baltimore. A little city called Glen Burnie. But stayed up there about 5 years. But I love horse racing. I had a few horses of my own. And of course, they got a little bit expensive for me, so I got rid of them. But I miss them, especially during Christmas when I used to ride them in the Christmas parade. Look, now you can see there's my beef where it's chopped up. I'm gonna let it brown a little bit more. Hopefully you see it. And I'm gonna take this out of the pan, and after I put all of my soups together, I'm gonna put that meat back in, because I like my soup really meaty. Okay, Virginia, Africa. Oh wow, you guys are really away. Africa, Virginia, Tennessee. I don't know where that one Victor lives, where he's going to the corner store. Did I need anything? Wasn't that sweet? Yep, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. And the thing, once the live ends, then I can't find you guys commenting more. I guess this, unless it's something I'm doing wrong. And this little thing here is twisted away. But again, there's my beef. And you see all this canned stuff that I'm about to put in the soup? I'm gonna put this down. Then I'll show you. Onions all over the floor. Now this soup, now watch what a hard time I have trying to open these. And this little cheap can opener. I believe I can open it better with the little can opener that you do this with. I think I can. I think I can. Okay. Y'all ready for Christmas? You'll get better at it, okay? Chicken out. Because you're doing so much good work on that food. Great cooking. There, Gigi. Thank you, Unglued. Y'all have some really nice names. Eye-catching names, titles, handles, whatever you want to call them. Look, talking about the electric one don't want to work. This one doesn't want to work. You guys work anywhere? You at work sneaking and looking at the video? Or what are you doing? Or are you retired like me? Well, when I was working, I stayed online all the time watching videos. I sure did. I really don't care if NC State hears me now. Too late. What are you going to do? Yeah, I retired from North Carolina State University in 2016. And it gets really boring. So I ended up finding myself doing videos. It's tiresome doing videos. It's a lot of work. It really is. Unless you're a person just sit down and say and do some of anything on the online, and I try not to do that. I see some crazy stuff online. People do some crazy stuff on there. A lot of it is fun though. Always fun. They could be out doing something horrible, but they're sitting it. Their hammers are not hot. So you see that hamburger? I'm going to strain it right now. And after my soup, after I mix all my vegetables together, I'm going to, Lord, I'm not putting this grease in the sink because I know what'll happen. But I'm straining this beef. Oh yes, I was putting it in the sink. I forgot to put a bowl under there. Jesus. So, what's the best way to open a can, guys? My can opener over there never wants to work. As you see, it's just a little cheap $15 or $10 can opener. I'm actually going to put this, I'm going to put that in there. I don't like fake broth. But I'm not using any chicken. And like I said, the turkey that I'm going to put in there as well. This is all left of that little ugly turkey that you saw if you looked at my other videos. So I'm going to put this in here. But you know, turkey has a tendency to be dry. So I'm going to pour this in there. You know, if I had cooked my own chicken, I wouldn't have to do this because I'm not too keen on these boxed so-called broth. I don't even believe it's broth. No telling what it is, but I'm going to pour it in here. And I'm going to have my turkey like kind of just hanging around in there. So I'll just use the whole bottle of water. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna just let this be simmered till I get all these cans open. I did make a few taco wraps yesterday with this turkey. With some of it, that's a big piece there. I don't want that. I just kind of want the little strings of turkey in here. The little parts that's the dark meat that would have maybe torn up a little bit. I want that in my soup. I don't want these big pieces. They're the big piece that just fell in there. I don't want that in there. I'm not trying to make a bromwich stew, in other words. I just want a little meat in my soup. And I believe that's going to be enough. That's a lot of turkey for somebody, just me hanging around cooking a turkey. Well, you know, when you buy a turkey for $2, you know, what can you say? It was just $2. Turkey was just $2. You know, they put these meats on sale. I appreciate you guys. Guys, say something. You saying something, but that's gonna like disappear. Like, hit a like. If you don't really like it, come back later and say something on there. If you want to give me, like somebody already said something, but when this live ends, then I won't be able to see this live unless I don't know what I'm doing. When I go back and pull the video up, being that I'm new, YouTube actually takes it off right after I end the live, I guess because they want to make sure I didn't do anything illegal or say anything illegal. What they do, they'll put it on private immediately after I go off, after I end the live, and then I have to go back in there and put it back on public, you know, and look through it. It's not like I can go in there and change anything in the actual footage, but I noticed I'm never able to find my comments. Let me see, somebody said something. You can change that in the settings. We can hear you. Thank you, Unglued. Okay, I went back in. I am able to go in and change it in the settings, put it back on public, but I can't see my comments. Why am I unable to see like the comments you guys are putting up here now? Or is it normal that they just disappear on a live? On ChatGPT. But anyway, I'm going to try, and I thank you for that comment. I'm going to look through it and see. But I do go back and put it back on public. For the most part, my videos, when I go live versus when I just forget to put it on live, they don't do very well. You know, once I go back. Initially, when I start, if it's not on public, because I put it on public before I start the live. And then, like yesterday, I was in Home Depot. You guys go in there and look at that $400 piece of meat on the one where I said, not Home Depot, Sam's Club versus Walmart, I believe the title was. You won't see many views on that one, and that's because I started on public. I mean, on private. It was on, I forgot to set it. So, go in there and look at my videos if you haven't been on and looked at my videos before. I would appreciate it. So I got one can open. So I guess I better stop running my mouth for a little bit and open a couple of these cans. And they're hard to open. Like, you know, it's this little cheap can opener I got here. I can't open it. I mean, it won't. Come on, thank. Oh, say the can is turning now, but it turns when it gets ready. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong, because it works fine when it works. When it decides it wants to work, it works. And it really, really sounds. I'm just not mechanically inclined, I guess. Okay, that one picked up. Maybe it's gonna make a lie out of me. So these are some white potatoes. Just Walmart stuff. When I make a soup, I use the cheapest thing that I can use. Because when it all gets together and I put my meats and my seasoning in it, it is delicious. Okay, so these actually have a pop can on them. So I'm going to strain these, the little Walmart white potatoes, and the Del Libby's carrots. I prefer the fresh carrots, but every now and then you just gotta be lazy. Okay. So what I'm gonna do with these potatoes here, I should have already done this and would have kept the video from being so long. These videos, when I look at other people's videos, I'm like, really? Do they really think I'm gonna sit here and look at all this? But like I said, just come back and you can fast forward back and forth once the live goes off. So I'm just chopping these potatoes up. It would just be even more work if I had to boil them. Thank you for complimenting my kitchen. Thank you. It's a lot of work trying to keep it looking neat because it's like an open house. I guess people call them open floor plan. And the house is really not that big, You know, I think the house should have been a little bigger for it to be open like it is. Actually, when you come in my house, you see the whole house. Yeah, everything but the bedrooms and the upstairs. But, and it's just one room upstairs. I guess they call it a frog. But it's heated space and all. It's a big room. But as far as down here, yeah, it's nice. The house is at least 25 years old, and we've been here that whole 25 years, almost. So I'm just chopping these up just a little bit. See, these are white potatoes. I love white potatoes in my soup. And you can't even tell that they're, you can't tell that the white potatoes, canned white potatoes, once they get in that soup, mixed with the rest of the stuff in there. You can't tell. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I've got a lot of countertop, which is what I like about it. But I don't know if you can kind of see over on the other side. See, I mean, it's just one big room, if you can see it. Turn the camera around, I guess you can see it. And then when you come in on the other end, actually, you know, you got, it's just, for some people, it's over 2,000 square feet, but the house seemed a little small to me. You know, so hopefully you can see that. Some people would probably be a little bit reluctant to even mention where they live, let alone film where they live, but I'm not afraid of anybody. Come in here if you want to. You're going to meet your master. But anyway, people are mean and crazy, and I guess you can't be too careful. It broke. Thank you. Thank you, Unglued. Yeah, it is nice. Sometimes I feel, I guess I'm a little bit ungrateful. I come a long way in life, during my life, and I am blessed, no doubt about it. And you guys may see my historic home that I got on there. That I have just little snippets of that house. I bought that house about 3 years ago. I'm actually renting it out to someone right now. And they don't really take care of the house that well. But nonetheless, hopefully they won't tear it up. But it's a beautiful home. I'd much rather be there than to be here. Because there's so much more space. As if I need all that space. I could see needing that space when those 3 boys I got were children at home, but they're on their own now. They're got their own families. You know. But I've always wanted a big old house. That house is 109, going almost 110 years old. This house here was built in 2003. So this house is what? 22 years old, if I'm counting right. But anyway, I'm just running my mouth to pass time by. If y'all get tired of looking, just X out. Just go on and come back and finish looking at the video, okay? Once it comes off live. And then here are the carrots. Those were the Libby's carrots. I made that chocolate the other night, and I didn't get online making it, but I did take, I did post a partial video after I had finished it, and that was cheating, wasn't it? Because that was chocolate made from scratch, from cocoa. And I still got a little bit of the cake over there in that cake plate. It's 3 different kinds of cakes. If you remember looking at the video, when I did the Thanksgiving meat cooking, you remember seeing me make 3 cakes. And then those videos are on there. All 3 of those cakes, this thing is just turning around. All 3 of those cakes are over there in that one little cake plate, you know, because it's just a little bit of it left. Okay, so going over here to put these potatoes in here, the diced potatoes and the carrots. So far I've got a can of corn in here. Potatoes, okay, my green peas. I don't see green peas in there. So that's what's missing. I don't really care to have butter beans in there. You know those green butter bean thingies? That's cheap Walmart corn. When you're gonna make a soup, you don't need that expensive stuff. Because all of it's gonna come together. And this is a pull top. Let me see if I know how to pull the top without breaking it off in the can. Let's see. Yep. So that juice, I'll go ahead and pour that juice right on in the pot. This is a big pot. It'll be a lot of soup by the time I finish with it. Okay. There's something missing. I don't put string beans in my soup. I don't normally. But I think I'll put some chopped string beans in there. I really like all of my, I like for all of my vegetables to be chopped up kind of fine. Yeah, it'll be a lot of soup. You know, a brownish soup is a soup that has a lot of meat. My mother used to cook, gosh, I'm eating hair. Should just hung this hair up somewhere out of the way. My mother used to cook a soup. I don't know if you guys may be too young to know what a wash pot. Those big old black pots that they used to boil clothes and make lye soap. Y'all probably don't know nothing about that, do you? Who's up here know about back in the day? But they set a fire around on the outside. Nobody's up here old enough to know about that, I bet. But anyway, my mother used to make a whole big old wash pot. I can't even describe the size if you don't know what I'm talking about. And she would sell the soup. You know, sell it like 50 cents a bowl back then. 25-cent bowls and 50-cent bowls. I don't remember her selling any. See how? I don't remember her selling any dollar bowls, but she was a hustler. She did what she had to do to feed us. It was 9 of us. And not that we didn't have a daddy around. He was around, but that's a whole nother story. But both of them are deceased now. And I do miss them both. Feels a little weird without them. So if you do have living parents, go visit your parents. Don't let the phone take over your communication with your parents. It's okay if they're tech savvy, if your parents are tech savvy. Look at this. See, I have to be careful not to cut myself up when I'm opening cans because I have a hard time opening them. Take time, make time, and go visit your parents. Because God knows I miss mine. I miss my parents, something terrible. I don't know where that went, but hopefully I won't step on it. But so, you see, I've got these string beans here. And see, I don't like the actual big string bean in my soup, so I'm going to dice them up a little bit, if you can see them. I dice them up a little bit and then pour them in the pot. I don't even like canned string beans unless I boil them in some ham or cook them in some bacon and make them taste homemade. I wouldn't normally eat canned food like this unless I had to put my own seasoning touch. Just dump them right out of the can. Oh no, can't eat them like that. And you go to restaurants, they got them like laying up there dumped out of the can. Or if you go to a party and wedding party or anniversaries and they got them just, the people that cater the food just bring string beans like this, dumped out of the can, no seasoning. I'm used to seasoned food. Okay? Looks like everybody might be gone. But I appreciate you guys, I really do, for taking the time to come on. And anybody, most of my viewers will see this live after it has closed. And you can fast forward back and forth, just don't miss the information that you're actually trying to see. As far as ingredients and what I'm using, if you want specific, individualized ingredients, just hit me up in the comments and I'll get back to you. Okay? So, I think, besides being the, I'm going to use the, I don't think I need but one tomato paste. And I do like 2 corns for some reason in my soup. This is one that has to be open like this. And that one went right in there. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. It opened right up. So, really, to tell you the truth, straight out the can, yep. Oh, I love green beans. Straight out the can. For real. South Park. You like them straight out of the can with no seasoning? I can't eat them like that. Well, you would love, if you like them straight out of the can, that's good. I can't eat them like that. I guess because I'm an old country girl and I'm used to that seasoning, and there's absolutely no seasoning in the, in the can. I can't eat stuff straight out of the can. I guess if I ever got hungry enough, a lot of things that I say I wouldn't eat, you know, if I was in a position, come on here. You know what? I get so sick of this can opener. Guess what? It opened most of them, so I just use this old-fashioned twisty guy that never fails. It fails too. Go look at it. I guess if I was somewhere in the woods or somewhere stranded or maybe even homeless, I'd probably eat anything. But you know, I prefer not eating straight out of the can. But I know, push come to shove, if I had to eat straight out of the can, I eat straight out of the can. With a little bit of salt and pepper. Okay. See, I never actually tried it. They just taste so plain. Probably healthier than when I get through with this. I'm going to have added grease, meat, some of everything in here. Definitely, certainly won't make it any healthier for me to eat it with the way I fix it. Well, I don't eat healthy. Never have. But, see, this is tomato paste. This is actually what makes it red, what makes my soup red. And I am going to put some diced tomatoes in there. This is what makes it red, make that soup. This soup is going to be thebomb.com. And it'll last for days. And I end up having to put some of it in the freezer. Maybe it'll be still hanging around for Christmas because I don't plan to cook anything for Christmas. Unless it's a ham and a pie. I love picnic hams. And I didn't cook any pie this Thanksgiving. And my daughter-in-law sent me 2 pies. And, but I shared, didn't eat much of that. It was good though. This can wouldn't open up like it's supposed to. But this is just tomato paste that I put in when I get all of the other ingredients in there. It's just tomato paste. It makes my soup tomatoey and red, the way I really like it. I'll bring you over here and let you look at it. I'll bring you over here and let you look at it. And like I said, if you can't stay on there, just come back later to finish looking at the video. And you can fast forward. I try to get every little crumb of food out. I can make up a cake, make biscuits or anything. I don't leave anything. I look at some videos and boy, I be wanting to jump through the video and tell them, get all of that out before you throw that away. You know, because they won't get all of the ingredients out of the can, out of the container, out of the bowl. They just throw a lot of stuff away. And I just be wanting to jump through the TV and say, hey, get that. So, just judging from the way that it looks right now, I think it needs just a little bit more of this stringy. I don't want no big turkey pieces. I got most of the turkey already in there. Come back over here. Are you making a creamy soup or it's just a vegetable soup. South Park, Southern girl, well, forgive me if I'm saying it wrong. I can't see good even with these glasses on. But you see the turkey? I like this part of the turkey in the soup because I'm also going to mix that beef that you saw me cook earlier. I don't want no big chunks of turkey in here. Well, just the straggly turkey. And the bigger pieces of turkey, I'm actually going to leave it to make me turkey taco with lettuce. And then I guess that'll be the end of the old turkey. But I've got right much of it still left, enough to make some tacos. You don't supposed to hold turkey out long. You don't supposed to use it long. It's already about a week old. But I've been keeping it like partially frozen. So it'll last until I use it up. Okay, so that's it. So that's all that's left. That's enough right there left. The bigger pieces to make turkey tacos later. Not today, but another day. So I'm going to freeze this so it'll last and it won't get poisoned. Well, that's what people claim happens to it. I don't know how true that is. But yeah, I'm going to take the phone over there so you can look at it and see that this is a vegetable soup. Just hold on just a second. Just a second. And I don't usually put butter beans. Some people call these lima beans. They should have been already in there, but they're already blanched. Well, I put just a few of these in here in the pot. I mean, it doesn't take much for them to get done. See? I call them butter beans. My mom used to grow them in her garden. So I put just a few of them in there. But there we go. A few more in there. This soup is going to cook until they're done. And that's enough. Soup will last for days. I wish I could give everybody on here some soup. Let me put the beef. You see the ground beef that I cooked earlier? Now I'm about to pour that in there, in the soup. Because I like beef in my soup. It helps, gives it some taste. My hand's clean. Okay. So I'm going to put this in here. And honey, when this finishes simmering all together, you're going to have, I wish you guys were around so I can give you some of the best soup you could ever put your mouth on. I'm tooting my own horn, right? But I do make a pretty good soup. It's pretty hard for me to enjoy anybody else's food too. Every now and then I'll go out and eat. And I'll get mad because the food didn't taste like I wanted it to taste. All right. So, I'm going to bring the phone over here before you jump off. So, hold on. Yeah. And I do put a little bit of salt and pepper and a little tablespoon of sugar in my soup. Like I'm going to let it cook a little bit more. These things are worse. Anybody have a faucet like this, it is worse. It's worse. I'd rather have just a normal functioning faucet than to have that thing. It gets aggravating. And this is where I started the soup off with some of this, which I don't normally do. I like to have chicken, not turkey, but because I have the turkey around here, I ended up using some of this. But it's nothing makes a better soup than your own fresh boiled chicken. When you got all that fresh, you have all of that fresh broth. But I have a chicken out there in the freezer, but I was too lazy to boil it. Okay. So I'm going to take it over here again. You see that soup? Look at that soup. Look. Look at that soup. You see them beans I just put in there? I should have put the beans in earlier, but they'll be okay because I'm going to let this simmer all together. Those string beans that you saw me cut up, they need to cook a little bit more too. But the beans that were in the green bag, they need to, these right here, the green, they actually definitely need to boil a little bit more. But look at that soup, guys. But anyways, this is about what it's gonna end up be looking like. What you see right here. I've got my meats in there. I'm gonna put a little sugar in there, just a tablespoon because it's so much soup. And just let it all simmer together with the beef, the turkey, and all the other vegetables together. And it's normally a very good soup. By the time I finish it, it's going to be a little bit more soupy. I don't like a real thick soup. So hopefully that you can see it. I hope my phone don't fall in this soup one day because I'm good for holding the phone over it. But that is the soup. Thank you guys so much again for tuning in. That looks good. I know it's good. I wish I could give you some. That I do. Here, open your mouth before I hang up. Here. Go ahead and take a little bit. Here. Look, with technology the way it is, I wouldn't be surprised if they make it where you can taste the food through the phone. But yeah, and it's just gonna simmer here. I'm done. But look at that. Even look at that turkey hanging off there like that. Look at that. Look at that. Look here. I know it's good. I wish you were nearby so you could taste it. Because I do make a pretty good soup. Even though I didn't use my own chicken and my own broth today. I did it. You can't go wrong once you brown that beef. Put that beef in there, and that beef is already seasoned with onions. You can't go wrong. But yes. Tasty looking. Oh, yes. Yes. You're welcome. Thank y'all so much for looking, okay? And it's going to cook down just a little bit more. And I'll make it just a little bit more soupy. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. And there it is. You can do a lot with a turkey. You know, you can make turkey salad. I don't have enough left to make turkey salad, but I've done a lot with that leftover turkey. I made tacos yesterday, but I didn't video it. Yeah, you can do a lot with it. You can make turkey and gravy as the videos on there. But you guys that haven't liked, comment, and subscribe, please do so. You see, I'm still trying to grow this little channel. And I'm a retired North Carolinian, and I get bored, and this keeps me company, and you guys keep me company. Coming on looking, and I appreciate it. Okay. So I'm going to end it right here because I've done everything. The only thing that you need to do now is cook down a little bit more. Okay? Have a good rest of your day. And I'll see you next time.